Hey guys, just a quick overview here on one of the tools I've been working on. This is a procedural corridor builder, and you've seen some of that if you looked at the Corneria level before. This is what I'm using to build a little tunnel here that you use to go to the secret boss. But all this is a spline-based tool that lets you quickly build corridors. In other words, interconnected corridors. So it's going to take a few minutes to show you what this does. So as you can see, I just dropped the corridor builder here in the level, and you can see that you have, obviously, as you're dragging the spline point, you can resize the tunnel or corridor, how I call it. You have here on the right hand side a few options. You can select the base material and the highlight material that you see here. You can choose whether to have an end mesh or not. And if you do have an end mesh, you have a few joint type options here. You have a left joint type. As you can see here, it has an opening on the left hand side. You have the right hand side here. You have closed, like the default. You have a T joint, which means that you have two openings, or you have a Y joint that has two openings, but instead of a 90-degree angles, it has a 45 degrees angles. And the cool thing is that obviously you can add as many spline points and you can curve it, but once you're done, you can actually spawn a new blueprint perfectly aligned to that opening by using a little Blutility here. So you go here to spawn connection, and you want to spawn it on the left hand side, and if you go down to Blutilities, you just run it, and it may not look like it, but it actually spawned another blueprint here, and when I drag it, you can see now that it's perfectly aligned. And of course, now that I'm selecting this blueprint, you can then choose to have a different kind of ending, for example a T-joint, and then from there you can go ahead and keep spawning basically different blueprints. So you can see here, right here, and you can see that I keep adding. There you go. So the goal here is again to have a very quick way of adding kind of an indoor environment. If I click play here, you'll see that it's just tunnels, right? So you can have these as sections in your game that are indoors. If you think about Star Fox, again, heavily inspired by that game, you have certain sections when you're kind of indoors into corridors, and you have like lasers, you have different enemies, you have turrets, etc. So that's the basic idea here, and I'm actually coming up with a new level, a new concept for a time attack game mode. And if I open it here, time attack, you'll see that there's a bit more elaborate thing here. So you can see here, this took me about 10 minutes, right? Just to give you an idea of kind of the type of things that you can do, and of course it's big enough that you can go back and forth while you're flying your ship. But again, you can do really complex things, including, if you line it right, kind of like a little connecting. You can see here there's a few blueprints, but they actually connect perfectly, so you can have like little circles and whatnot. So that's pretty much it. Again, just one more little tool to make your life easier when you're building your levels. So pretty simple. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot.